Hi, Jackie here, sharing a layout for A Little Magpie using Simple Stories all wrapped up collection. So we use the collection. I've got the 12 by 12 paper pack, and I've also used one of the new stitch templates, the star one, that's available at A Little Magpie. So off camera, I have stitched 5 of the stars in various sizes onto some white cardstock, just using some red and green twine. I've also die cut some stars using L Studio star set and the A Little Magpie star set as well. I'm just going to keep this layout or the design very simple because I didn't want to lose the effect of all the stitching I've done on the background. So I'm just going to use one of these journaling cards, and it says on the top, it says tradition. I don't want to use use it as a typical journal card. I just want that title bit at the top. And as you can see, it's a picture of one of the new red cups for 2025. But this time I've gone for a cold drink cup. I have got pictures of my normal red cups, the normal red cup with hot drinks in, but I wanted to take and document that my first cup of the season was a cold drink cup and not my typical gingerbread latte that I normally have. Anyway, so I've chosen a selection. I wanted to stick with mainly the greens and reds in this collection. So I'm just going to add a simple a few layers behind my photograph, offsetting them. But I still want the photograph to be in the centre, but I don't want the actual papers to be too wide that it covers all over the majority of those stars. I do end up, as the layout goes on, it does end up, especially the bottom one underneath the photograph, you can only see a few of the points poking out, but I'm fine with that. I just wanted it to, I didn't want them all to be overrun. Now, I was going to use this multi-spotty paper, but then I realised it was the red spot plus the multicoloured spot together, and I didn't want that. And I've just trimmed off this edge because I wanted to save that 6x4 journaling spot. Not journaling spot, 6x4 piece at the top. So I was going to do, then I realised it was spot on spot. So I did change it out to use the 3x4 pattern paper, and it's got this light green with berries on the reverse. So I've used that as one of my layers. So again, I'm going to cut it down so that it's just a smaller piece. I don't want it too wide, and I just use a pencil and just do it by eye of how wide I want the actual green strip to be. Just putting all my papers together just to see how I want it to end up, and it's not going to be too wide across the centre of the page. Just to make a little mark there, and I'll just trim that down to size. And then I do add a pennant to the bottom end, just to give it a bit more detail. I'll leave all the links to the products I've used. So I've used Simple Stories all wrapped up collection, and I've also used one of the new star templates, one of the new stitch templates, and I've used the star one. There's 2 sets of the stars. There's one that's stacks in together, so you can use it as to cut the stars out as a shape as well as the template, but I just got the actual stitch template one as well. So I'm just going to put all these pieces together. I do distress the edges and add 3D foam pad underneath the photograph, and I also add it on the reverse, I think. No, I don't. I just add it underneath the photograph, again, just to give it a bit more dimension. Off camera as well, I think I showed at the beginning, I did die cut some stars. You can see it in those trays. So I did die cut some stars using the A Little Magpie star die set, and also an old L Studio die set as well, which does the sort of a border of a star as opposed to the solid star, which I was going to use, but I do swap it out. As my layout comes together, you will see what I mean. So my first drink of the season. Well, actually, it wasn't the first drink of the season. My first cup of the season was this nice one with gingerbread men on and candy canes from Starbucks. My first drink of the season was a gingerbread latte. Right, so I'm just going to stick this down now. And then I want to add some of the stars around the page over the stars that I've already hand-stitched to give it a bit more dimension and a bit more detail. I do add the stars flat to the page. I don't add any foam pads to the behinds. So there's, on the left hand side, you can see one of those L Studio die cut stars that I've done. But I end up not using it. I just thought it was a bit too much, it being open as well as my open and overlapping that large red hand stitch die. So I do change them all. I change them out so they're all solid ones that I use. So all the solid ones are ones that have come from the Helical Magpie die set. So here's where I've changed them out. And then I'm just going to use some Nouveau Deluxe glue just to add them over the tops, overlapping some of the, all the stars. So I do add them all over the stars. And I've done them contrasted. So the green's got red and the red's got green. So the green stitching has got a red die cut, and then the red stitching has got a green die cut. And I've just slightly overlapped them. So just put them into place. I'm really pleased how this layout came together. I didn't want to cover up all my hard work of doing the hand stitching. Then I just realised I needed a little label at the bottom of the page. So I just cut, again, from the journaling sheet, I just cut this label at the bottom. I do end up I trim it and cut it in half, so there's only a little small piece poking through at the bottom. And I do add my journaling, which just says a different red cup for me this year. And then I add a date stamp at the bottom as well. So just pulling up my photographs, because obviously I've stuck it down too well. And my photograph size is 3x4 with a small white border. So I'm just going to tuck that in there. And then I think it's ready to... I'm going to use the foam sticker sheet and just use the word cheer as my main title. And then on the sticker sheet, I noticed that there was some... on the foam sticker sheet, I noticed that there were some stars, foam stars. So I'm going to add those as well. Before that, I'm going to add some holly leaves. I was going to put that poinsettia to the left side of the photograph, but I don't. So I just got 2 of the holly leaves and put one at the top, one at the bottom. Adding some foam pads behind, again, just to give them a bit more definition and raise them up a bit. And add a bit more texture to my layout. I think I do fast forward. So I do cut them down and I just add them, one to the top where it says cheer, just tuck it in there, and then the one to the very top where it says traditions, and then just tuck that in there. Again, adding 3D foam to the back. Yes, I was saying, so on the foam phrase sticker sheet, there is some stars. So I dot those around the page. How many want 5? Yes, so there's 5. So I dot those around the page, and then I also add some brads and some enamel dots. And then I just come across this little cut apart. I think it's one from one of the 12x12 sheets, and I cut it in half and I just add it as an extra layer. I'm able to tuck it underneath the just there at the bottom, and also slip it at the top as well. I don't know why I wanted to put there, but I like it. I like it. There was no rhyme or reason to adding that anyway. It doesn't... to me, it makes difference, but, you know, I could have just done the layout without putting that there, but I just thought, oh, I like that little piece, and I'll just add that there. I think it's now I put the... oh, yeah, so I go through the sticker sheets and find some of the sticker sheets. So stickers I've used three, well, yeah, I've used 3 stickers. So one on the left-hand side says Be Merry in black. One at the top says Glad Tidings of Joy, and one at the bottom underneath Cheer says Joy and Love. Now, I added 2 of the black stickers because above the photograph is that black, what's it called? Journaling card that's got the traditions on it, so it'll tie it up in the three zones. And here I am just adding the foam stickers around the page. Foam stars around the page. And then I will go on and add some enamel dots and brads, again, all from this collection. And I think that's the end of my layout. Thanks very much for stopping by. There'll be a few close-ups shortly. So I'm just going to do 3 close-ups. Oh, yes, at the top, I did add the sticker border. I cut it into bits and I had a partly on the top and partly at the bottom right. Like I said, thank you very much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe to our channel. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. There's a few close-ups coming up, and you'll also be able to see some more close-ups over on Instagram under Magpie and my personal channel, which is Jackie Scraps. Thanks very much. Till next time. Bye.